Now, it wasn't too long ago when the CDC declared that teenagers are experiencing a mental health crisis. In an attempt to help students, Texas A&M created a mental health button. It's a button on students' apps. So here to talk about it this morning and about how the campus is reacting, Assistant Dean for Digital Learning in the College of Arts and Sciences, Jocelyn Widmer. Good morning, and thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me this morning.
So tell me, why did Texas A&M decide that it was time to add this resource for students?
Yeah, it's an interesting story. We were embarking on a mental health campaign. It was a presidential initiative at the time. And the student body president and his leadership team actually approached me kind of out of the blue one day about a year ago and said, we know that students are always in Canvas. Can we add a button? And so it really took off from there. And about 3 months later, the button went live.
Yeah, so have you been using it already? Have you noticed that students are actually already using it?
Yes, we put the button in place in February of this year. And so the end of the spring semester, by May 15th, 2023, we had about 20,000 unique student hits on the button. And what's really interesting is about 15% of those at any given time are from within academic content or activities in the Canvas learning management system. So they're in the grade book, they're in assignments, and they're realizing they need to access these resources.
Interesting. And how do they actually do it? Like, how does it work?
Sure. So we've got a button integrated on it's called the global nav of Canvas. So you log in, you see the button on the left-hand side. It's with kind of standard buttons like help and, just some of the standard interface of Canvas. And we've branded it with a unique icon. They click it. It's a tray that slides out and they click into the resources.
And then what happens? Like, if they access this, then is there a live counselor on the other end? Is it a peer counselor? Who are they talking to?
Yes, great questions. So the Texas A&M University system has then partnered with a 24/7 live virtual assistant. So there are real people on the other side, and they can pop into this virtual care platform that the university system has invested in for all of our students.
Wow. And then can students actually reach out on behalf of other classmates? I hear that's one way that a lot of parents find out that their child is suffering with something, is they hear it from peers. So can a student report something about another student?
Yeah, there are all kinds of other channels for that at the university. This particular one is meant to interface with individual students. So we make sure every student knows it's there, and we try to take a really proactive approach.
Mm-hmm. And since it was launched, have you seen any positive? Have you heard any positive feedback? Have you seen a change on campus?
Well, what's interesting is I was presenting a couple months ago in Denver with Instructure at their national conference, and someone came up to me afterwards, and he was a father of one of our students. And he's like, "You're not kidding. This is really there." I was texting my daughter during the session, and she says she uses it. And I've heard that from a lot of parents who are faculty or on staff. So it's, the students know about it. Now our charge is to ensure faculty know about it, and they're promoting it in their classes.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that parents are so proud of with this younger generation is that this isn't a really taboo subject anymore. People are much more willing to be open and talk about mental health. So for parents who are watching, who are, praising you for doing what you do, if their child isn't at Texas A&M, is there a way that they can request a similar service be done at their schools?
Well, what's really neat is this Student Government Association at A&M. The student body has really amplified their success. They've won awards now for this initiative, and I'm headed to Auburn in the next couple of weeks when they launch their mental health button in Canvas. And I think the Instructure's State of Student Success and Engagement in Higher Ed report is really ensuring that this is all top of mind among university administrators. And I'm hearing word that across the SEC institutions are launching a similar button. So it's really taken a grassroots effort thanks to the students.
Yeah, great. And that is wonderful news. And, really thanks to you, too, for making it accessible to them and making it something that is part of their normal daily lives. Their physical health is just as important as their mental health. So thank you so much for doing that. Is there anything that you'd like to add before I let you go?
I think it's just the importance of university leadership making themselves accessible to students. This was a student idea, and as you just said, it's not a taboo subject. They advocate on behalf of themselves, and this is a household issue that we're all addressing and thinking about, and the students know it better than anybody else.
You're absolutely right. And so the only way to overcome this crisis is to all do it together. You're doing an awesome job. Thank you so much. Assistant Dean for Digital Learning in the College of Arts and Sciences, Jocelyn Widmer, thank you so much for joining us.